So, a slightly more muted, I think, second half, or the majority of the second half right now.
And I thought
still substantive.
You know, I suspect I'll get some resistance here and certainly on Twitter. But considering what you expect from Clinton and considering the speech at AIPAC, I thought she was attempting to be, while unwilling to. She was trying to Clinton it as much as possible, while trying not to do anything that would offend Jewish voters. Did not go as far as she clearly could have gone in support of Israel. Like, I was ready for her to actually say more.
Really?
What do you mean?
I'm ready for her to talk more about, she did mention it one time, that constant, they don't want you to exist, they're going to wipe you they're not going to wipe you from the face of the earth, okay? But more of that there was a tone to that by mentioning right at the beginning, by talking twice about Abbas and also about the Muslim Brotherhood and Morsi. There was just a moment of like, and look, I was in that room, I negotiated that, I am prepared to negotiate on behalf of the Palestinians. It could have been, it would be worse if the Republicans were talking about it. She didn't drift as far to the right as the Republicans.
That's true.
Which on this, I sort of expect
the high bar.
from her.
Maybe. Look, I think the way that they both answered, I think he was trying to speak up for the rights of Palestinians, especially dead civilians, without angering too much people who want you to be 100% in favor of whatever the current right-wing leadership of Israel wants, while she was trying to speak up for the rights of the Israeli government without pissing off people who are worried about dead Palestinians. They were both coming at it from opposite directions. They weren't as bombastic as a Republican would be, that's true. But look, I think from her, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that you could even be on her position and to be largely deferential to the political and military strategy of the current leadership of Israel and still say that regularly killing huge quantities of civilians whenever you move in is disproportionate and unacceptable. But she had that opportunity and she declined to, even with the follow-up. That indicates something.
Yeah, it indicates something. Is that but the question is, what does that indicate? And and to me, only what it indicates is a total unwillingness to, in any way, damage her support among Jewish voters.
100%.
That's what that means. That's all it means to me. And so, if you think that means, realistically, right, is she going to be? No, it means two things. It also means that she is going to be yet another American president who will not be tough enough on Israel when they continue to move in settlements in the West Bank.
Yeah. I think a lot of people in American politics don't understand that just because, for me, do I support Israel's right to exist? Of course. I think.
Do you?
Yeah, and I think Netanyahu is a threat to the future of Israel.
That's right, which is essentially what Bernie was saying.
I mean, and he has been for 15 years.
That's right.
The right wing has been a threat to Israel itself.
We don't talk enough about the fact that, look, that's a political party, and it's a terrible political party. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Netanyahu is not in any way like Ted Cruz personally. Ted Cruz is a religious zealot. Netanyahu is not even that religious, but he is he's like Dick Cheney. That's who Netanyahu is like. And so, yeah, there are other parties there. And when the time comes, at some point, when they elect somebody else, you'll see some change in policy. The notion that we are unable to draw that distinction here, that we have somehow rigged a political system where we can't say, I fully support Israel's right to exist, and I hope Benjamin Netanyahu is not elected.
Yeah.
I hope that party is thrown out of power. That party is detrimental to peace for the Israelis and therefore peace in the Middle East.
And has been since the turn of the century.
That's right.
It's singular amongst our views of every other country that it doesn't matter it does matter who leads it if it ever actually changed, but we're not allowed to distinguish between a particular individual or political party and the population or the country as a concept or whatever.
It's part of our own sort of this myopic view of America that we have, like only our politics is complicated. Right? Like, there's crazy zealots in all.
Israel's a monolith.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The Jewish community. Jews all think alike.
They all do. They all get along.